Hi Virgo, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. Your key to the week this week is the High Priestess, one of my favorite cards. I will say this week, please listen to your intuition. It's going to be so powerful this week. Like, this card basically, as the key to the week, is saying that in all of these different areas, you have to trust your intuitive energy, whatever it is that's coming through to you through your intuitive power, your psychic ability and or awareness. This is where the magic is happening this week. All right, so remember, obviously we've got this powerful full moon solar eclipse, power to dare. Hi Virgo, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. Your key to the week this week is the High Priestess. So remember, we've got that powerful full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Taurus, which for you is in the 9th house, which is actually quite a spiritual house. This card, this High Priestess card, basically says in all of these different areas of your life this week, there are very likely to be intuitive, psychic and or spiritual messages that are coming through. So you must trust it, all right? Like, this is the time, this is a part of, like, this whole week, listen to your intuition, right? It's going to be cranked up. The dial is going to be very high. So it's really important that you take this on board. With that said, I would like to bless my decks of cards, with my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your actions and options this week, you have... Oh, but before we get into that, it is worth mentioning your month ahead. So your November tarot scopes are up and out there for your viewing pleasure. So you've got the King of Cups, or in this deck it's called the Father of Cups, with the High Priestess, which means in some way, shape or form, a Cancerian male is going to feature for you in some way this week. This could be a friend, a colleague, somebody that comes in as a support. It could also be somebody that is maybe playing a benefactor, but behind the scenes that you haven't even noticed is working on your behalf or for your favor. The other thing that I'll say to you is that King of Cups, because it's in your actions and options, this is about what you do. And so this is really you demonstrating a vast level of emotional security, yes, but also a vast level of emotional, what's the word that I'm looking for? A vast level of emotional support. So what I love most about this is it does feel like you're giving like the best of what you are or that you understand out into the world, or maybe to a significant other, maybe to a friend, maybe to a family member. Either which way though, your emotional intelligence is on point this week. For your communications and conversations, you have the Sun card, right? So look at this. There's likely to be some really amazing conversations this week, with pieces of puzzles coming to light, with information coming to you that really is very helpful, very beneficial. It could also see you sorting or sifting through the information that you're getting with somebody that means a lot to you. So a lot of your psychic awareness, your psychic downloads, your intuitive message, maybe your, prophetic dreams for some of you could be having this week. And it's like a lot of what you're talking about, you're able to figure out what it means or how it speaks directly to your current experience, because it's all out in the open. I love the Sun card. Lots of people say like, oh, it's sickly sweet, which, yeah, okay, sometimes it can be, sometimes it's a bit too optimistic, but it never represents a hardship. So communication is actually easy this week, especially when you're sharing or divulging stuff that maybe you haven't done before, or maybe you haven't had another scope or space to do so. So I really like this. When it comes to those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, I really like this for a lot of your viewpoints, especially the ones that have been maybe slightly alternative, maybe things that you've been not necessarily mocked for, but like, people are like, oh yeah, they believe this or da-da-da. Like this week, you could have something validated or vindicated, and it might have you kind of seen in a very different way by your peers, or, potentially by some of the higher ups. It may also be that you're shining really brightly this week for those of you that are studying, and actually for those of you that are working for someone else. You could be shining really bright this week in a way that really helps you you know, maybe advance the work, advance the career, but it's not happening now. It's just that whatever you're doing or whatever you've been doing up until this point is being seen behind the scenes by the right people. So it does suggest that whatever you're doing now really is paving the way for much brighter and better things to find you when it comes to the work life. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, I actually really love this, especially because of this King of Cups, because it's like the actions that you're taking, they're slow and steady, but it's like they really are steady. The other thing with that Sun card as well, this is a really good time for a lot of you. It looks like where you are almost like getting a different viewpoint on like how you communicate to the public, to the wider world. So something that you're sharing with the world, something that you have plans to share with the world, it's like you're starting to air this out into actuality, all right? Like people are sharing things with you in some regard, which is really exciting. For those of you that are I've already done that. For those of you that are retired and no longer working for any reason, I think this is a breakthrough in whatever passion project you've been working on or whatever you've been sort of doing in different ways. This is where things really start to click. It's almost like I'm seeing this, like, you know, like the tumblers in a key barrel. Like when you put the key in, like the tumblers go around the key. This kind of feels like that. It's like something synthesizes properly this week. It comes together. And a big part of that is because you're managing or at least experiencing your emotional outlook or understanding in a very different way. For your love and relations, you've got the Two of Cups. Partnership, relationship is good. No problems there this week at all. Look at that with the Sun card. Absolutely beautiful with the High Priestess. You and your partner behind closed doors, sharing new things, excited about new things. Maybe not necessarily sharing those with the world yet, but definitely sharing new things together, which is really, really exciting. The other thing with this as well, I almost kind of get the feeling that this week there's going to be an exchange of gifts, and I kind of feel like this isn't, maybe it's an anniversary, but I kind of feel like for a lot of you it's almost like you buy your partner a gift and then when you give it to them they're like, oh, I bought you a gift as well, and it's like no coordination whatsoever. It's like something just happens almost psychically or like psychically or spiritually, like there's such a resonating energy there that it just kind of, it borders on that, you know, like eventually couples kind of get telepathy. They can kind of communicate with just looks because they know what they're sort of, you know what I mean? But this is that, but it goes beyond that. For those of you that are single and looking, it's very likely this week with this combination alone, but especially with all of these, it's very likely that a potential partner comes forward this week and says, look, I've had the biggest crush on you, hidden things revealed, the High Priestess. I've had the biggest crush on you for the longest time. Haven't been able to tell you, didn't know how to tell you, wasn't sure what you would think, but I just gotta, you know, like I'm shooting my shot, as they say, right? And I'm putting it out there. So that could be really nice. For your money and materials, you have the Five of Pentacles. So there is a financial hit this week, I'm sorry to say. But look, you've got this underneath the Sun card and you've got this with the High Priestess. This is either something that you've already spent money on, that maybe you get your money back. It's also could be maybe, like something that you've already spent money on. Maybe you're getting it back because the item is faulty. It could also be maybe, I don't know why. It's really weird because I kind of get the feeling this is, you know, when like you try to return something and they say, oh, well, you know, your warranty's run out, but then the person in the shop's like, oh, you know what, it's fine, we can get it repaired for you if you're interested. It could be something like that. Another way that this could work is maybe you have a sudden expense come up, but because of that Sun card energy, maybe you know somebody in the store, so you end up getting a discount. Those are good enough examples, I think. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, your neck, your throat and your voice, you need to look after this week for sure. Not a doctor, can't give you medical advice. And then finally, when it comes to your home and your environment, this, I think, for a lot of you is sorting through stuff that doesn't belong to you. That could be for any number of reasons. Take it to mean whatever you like. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a great week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes out. Take care, and I'll see you soon.